everyone, and welcome to Zeus and Lexi Kids Off the Runway. My name is Tanya.
And I'm Sophia, and together we're the co-founders of Zeus and Lexi Kids.
We started this podcast with the idea of letting you guys in a little bit behind the scenes on what goes in building a fashion brand, shooting campaigns, and what it's like to be a child model in this industry. We're going to be talking with a few of our kid models and giving you guys a front row seat into the chaos and the magic that is Zeus and Lexi Kids.
So some of the history of how we started Zeus and Lexi Kids, we were nurses, and we wanted to own a business. Myself and Tanya, we've been friends since we were 7 years old. We've lived across the street from each other. We always talked about building a brand or opening our own business. So we started the daycare centers. We started the 3 daycare centers and we grew really quick, but we still didn't feel like that business was actually ours because it was state run and you still have to follow the state guidelines. So we thought a children's clothing brand would be something that would be ours and we can actually express ourselves more in.
Like, I remember when we first decided to start the fashion brand, we had just had like the longest day ever and we were nervous and we were like, there has to be another way, okay? There has to be something where our kids feel represented, our kids feel stylish, and they see themselves in our brand and our clothes. So originally, y'all, we were thinking about doing like book bags. We were like, should we do book bags? What should we do? Should we do like shoes? And then Sophie had the great idea to do clothes. And I think that's when Zeus and Lexi Kids was really born.
Yes.
I remember struggling trying to figure out a name for it because we wanted something that,
So that's a question people always ask is where did we get the name from? They were actually both of our Yorkies. We decided that she had Zeus and I had Lexi and we was like, let's name the brand after them.
Zeus and Lexi, right? We were thinking of something like Little Diva or something cute like that, but we were like,
something with meaning.
Something with meaning. And I think that's where a lot of entrepreneurs go wrong. If the brand doesn't have meaning or you don't feel a sense of connection to it, it's not gonna, it's not gonna you're not going to take it. You're not going to fight as hard for it. And I think that was the real turning point for us.
Yes. Another thing is, I guess a lot of times we felt growing up when you would look in fashion magazines and things, we didn't see kids that looked like us or in commercials or things like that. So it was something that we wanted to make sure that children that looked like us, that they were represented in the fashion world too, to show them that they can do it. The other issue is that even like with owning the daycare centers, a lot of times people see women in business and they don't believe like you could do it. So
girl, I remember
funny stories with the daycare. So
I remember the funniest one was when we opened up our daycare centers. They kept saying, like, we started hearing all these rumors and people walk past the office and they'd be whispering. And we're like, what are they whispering about? Like,
we had the teachers too.
It was the teachers as well.
They would walk past and they would just like whisper and they would just look in and they were always like watching us. And we're like, why are these teachers watching us so much?
Yep. So come to find out that they were gossiping and saying that we were
basketball player wives. And we both had married basketball players and that
we were using the alimony
money to fund our daycare center.
Because God forbid 2 women save up their money, right, and start a business. But we look at it and laugh now because, sometimes you're going to be underestimated. You're going to be taken for granted. But it's how you use that energy to expand and make it more than it is what, builds the dream and builds the foundation.
Yes. So that was definitely something that we wanted to teach young girls, that we want to be an example to them to show them that they can do it too. You don't have to have alimony money to start a business or to go after whatever it is that you want to do in life, that you can do it too. And
exactly. I think when we first started the clothing brand, we ran into a lot of challenges. Like, we had difficulty finding manufacturers. It wasn't just easy sailing. It wasn't as easy as we thought it was going to be. We thought we were going to just pick out cute clothes, get them made, and that was it.
No.
But we were wrong.
So we started the clothing brand in 2018, and that was right before COVID. So as we were starting, remember, COVID came a few months later. So our first designs got stuck on a ship, never came in. We still haven't received those clothes. And we just never received that order of clothing. So that was one of our biggest challenges. The next challenge was that when we first started, we had no experience in fashion at all. We came from daycare centers and nursing and any background but fashion. So we Remember, we would take the
Oh my
we
God.
would go to Mood and we brought a sketchbook.
We bought a sketchbook, and that's when I realized, guys, I can't draw for nothing. Mine had stick figures. I was trying to draw stripes on shirts.
Yeah, I was
Like-
drawing stars and colored pencils, and we would line all the colored pencils up on the floor. And I was like, I
Yes.
don't think this is how you do it.
Yeah,
Like, there has to be another way.
there has to be another way, but we figured it out. And then I remember going to Mood and being so overwhelmed with the amount of fabric. Like I thought there was just cotton, silk, and polyester, but there's versions of polyester, and there's like there's different levels to these fabrics. So it was definitely a learning curve, and a journey. That one that I didn't see getting this far. Did you see us getting this far with it?
I didn't. I took it more as it was just like another business that we were starting, because
Yeah.
we always talk about starting another business.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't see that it would go as far as it did until the day that we got the phone call from New York Fashion Week. We had started and we were doing photo shoots and things like that, but it still didn't feel real until we got the call from New York Fashion Week that they had selected us to be in one of their shows. And I just remember thinking like, wait, I can't tell Tanya this, because if I tell her, she's going to say no. So when I
Guys,
did come to her,
she
said no.
I said no. I said no. We're not ready, girl. We still got colored pencils on the floor. What you talking about? But it was just a leap of faith. Once it sunk in that New York Fashion Week actually wanted us to be in their clothing line. We've been doing the behind the scenes work. We were doing the photo shoots, and we were posting, and we were trying, and doing videos and recording. But when we got that call, it was just like an awakening that somebody's paying attention, and I think it was just our time. Like it was one of those things you just leap, okay? Especially when it's an opportunity that big. You may not be ready, you may not be prepared, but you just take a leap of faith, and we did. And it's been like nonstop since then.
It has. We've done a lot more than I guess I thought in such a short period of time, that I'm proud of it.
Yes.
It's overwhelming, but I definitely I love everything that we're doing. I love seeing how much the brand has grown from start to where we are now and to where we're going, and taking the kids along with us on this journey. Like there's a lot of times where I'm just like, wait, is this real? Like, did this really happen? Are we really doing this?
Yeah.
It feels good to actually see, especially to see like where we started from to now we have designers and we have
support.
We're not the ones sketching out our drawings that
anymore, right?
didn't really translate right the first time. So should we tell them about our first time?
Please tell them about it. So a lot of people don't know, but I think that's one thing that we made sure is that our business is always built on one another. I feel like when you start like a business, it should be something that builds off of something else. So our first photo shoot was actually our children from the daycare center. And those are our models. Those were the models that we used, and they loved it. They were so supportive. The parents were so supportive.
Yes.
So our first photo shoot, tell them about our first photo shoot.
So first photo shoot, we had found a designer on Thumbtack. And she was coming to like meetings with us, and she was bringing like all of this stuff, and we just fabric, and she was bringing tape measures, and she was measuring the kids every week. It was even during a snowstorm.
Yep.
And we had the kids come to the house, and they were being measured, and everybody's being measured. And we were doing this for what, like 2 months? So we just knew, but we never actually seen the clothes. And then when she came with the clothes, it was the night before. She didn't answer, or something happened. Like we couldn't get into it, pick up the phone, and she finally decided that she was gonna drop the clothes off at the studio. And when she got there with the clothes,
guys, when I say one of the sleeves were like longer than the other, the skirt was like lopsided. We had to cut the kids into the clothes and sew them back into it. Like it was a whole journey. And to be honest with you, that was one of our favorite photo shoots. It was
the photos actually turned out good. We cut the clothes and pinned them onto the kids, but it was one of my favorite photo shoots still.
And the growth in the kids, I'm telling you, when they went in front of that camera, they like turned on. It was like a sparkle. And that's when I was like, okay, you know what? This fashion line is going to be about confidence, about stylish kids and building the kids up. Because when you put those clothes on the kids, you should have seen them. They lit up. They just became like different
supermodels.
Supermodels, I'm telling you. So luckily for us, a few of our models decided to join us today, so you can speak to them firsthand and
Hear
get
their
Yeah,
stories
yes.
and their experience of what it's been like working with us, and
Yeah.
we're going to talk to them firsthand. They're going to tell us the real about everything, how they really feel, and what they like about everything, and the journey and what it's been for them so far.
So it's been magical for us, and just hearing it from the kids' point of view, and that they, are happy with what we're doing and happy in how they feel in the clothes. I think it's a great journey. So if you guys are out there and you want to start a fashion brand and you just don't know where to start, I hope you get something from our episode and our podcast, and that inspires you to start yours and start your journey, whether it's fashion, modeling, or whatever it is. These are the stories that make up the dream, and just make sure you keep going. So let's introduce our models. Hi, ladies. How are you?
Good. How are you?
You guys look so good.
Thank
You guys excited? School's almost out?
Yes.
Yeah. You got plans?
Yes.
I bet you do.
So we're going to have you guys introduce yourself to everyone and tell them a fun fact about you.
My name is Klark, and a fun fact about me is that I like to fence.
My name's Kohen, and a fun fact about me, I like tennis.
Oh, you like tennis?
My name is King, and a fun fact about me is I like basketball and piano.
Yeah. Oh, nice. So you guys were with us for a few photo shoots. How did you guys like it? How do you guys like modeling?
It's fun. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Like we get some free time, take some pictures, change, some free time. It's like, yeah.
Food.
He said the food.
Right, always the food. I'm not mad at that. So, what are some things that you guys like about modeling? What do you like to do?
The clothes, they're always so wow.
Yeah, changing clothes and different clothes to wear.
I like the vibe around modeling, like just the laughter, and then take a picture of the laughter.
That's fun.
So can you tell us what was one of your most memorable experiences from modeling with us?
When we went to the park, I think it was one of the first times we did it. Maybe not the first, but we went to the park and we were on the swings and stuff. And we were just taking pictures. It was fun because we were at the park.
Yep.
We were just taking pictures.
I love that photo shoot, guys. That photo shoot was so much fun, but one thing about photographing kids in a park, we had to wrangle them up. You would take one picture of one and three went running that way. So it was a lot of chaos.
Yeah, it was really fun.
It was
to take
yeah.
pictures and then go play and then take pictures.
We had to get you. The photographer was running behind you guys trying to get pictures, but we got some really good shots that day.
My favorite memorable photo shoot is the second time we were in the park, and there was just it was a really big playground. Or the time when we were playing basketball in the park, or when you guys gave us food, and I never regretted that because we were all just laying on the floor.
So one thing we do is we always make sure that the models are fed.
Yes. The trick is to feed them after they take the photos. That's one thing we didn't take into account that first time.
We did it in between.
We did in
Yeah.
between. Yeah.
Once you feed
done
them,
feeding-
we're done.
Eat some food, go back to photos.
So one thing we strive to do is instill confidence when you wear the clothes. So how do you guys feel when you're wearing the clothes? How do you guys feel about the brand? Do you guys like it or?
I do like the brand. When I'm wearing the clothes, I'm oh, I'm bougie.
Yes, girl.
I like wearing the clothes and trying on.
There you go.
Yeah, I also love the clothes because especially when we're trying it on, I love that you guys ask us how we feel, and it makes me feel very comfortable, very nice. When it was the second time we walked the runway, I really loved those clothes. That made me feel really nice, and I felt really pretty.
Yes, you looked amazing.
Thank
All of you guys did.
So now I guess we're going to ask you a couple more questions, and then we're going to wrap up our first episode. So when you started modeling, what would you tell a child that's new in modeling? What advice would you give them?
it's okay because it's like it's a community. It's not just like you. It's a community. I would say that you got this and you can do it.
I would say to always make sure that you're standing tall, that you feel very confident, that you're not like always just checking something. You're like in a safe place, you're in your zone, you're calm. Cause like when you get like so hyped, you like start to like move around, start to wiggle, like start to like mess with your hair and stuff, and yeah, just like be in the moment.
So, what would be your go-to pose when you guys model? Like, do you have a go-to pose that you just, that's your pose, that's your thing? Can you give us an example of your pose that you do, your signature pose?
My go-to pose is this. It's like the heart.
Oh, the heart, yes.
Yes.
You are infamous for this heart. Yes, definitely. What's your pose, though? Yes, girl. Love that.
I don't really have a specific pose. Sometimes like I would have to like crouch, like sit down and like just crouch, do this, and I don't know.
Or sometimes like
So my question is, do you guys enjoy tailoring photo shoots or walking and modeling? Like runway? Which one do you enjoy more?
walking the runway because I feel like it's a really big thing and it's really exciting and stuff. It's exhilarating.
Excellent.
I like walking the runway
Yeah.
because I can do it.
And you're good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I don't know. I like both. I think walking the runway was very fun because it was also very like a lot behind the scenes, but it was fun. Like in the moment, like when you're just walking down that, it's like, oh my god. Okay, so I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And I can't stop. Stop.
You're already out there now. You
Yeah,
gotta complete it.
I remember the first time we walked the runway and they sent you out at the wrong time, so you're just standing there like.
Because I was waiting for my cue. I thought I was frozen. I was waiting for my cue. I like to be right on time. So when they sent me out, I was kind of like mad at them because they pushed me out and I kept trying to say, wait, this isn't my spot. Like I'm supposed to walk out at a certain time. And they just pushed me right out. And so I was just like for like maybe 2 minutes. And then I was like, okay, it's time.
Yes. But she did really well.
You did really well. So what she's talking about is her first time on
New York Fashion.
New York Fashion Week, where the people behind the scenes, they didn't practice with us, they didn't train with us, so they don't know when our model's supposed to go out. So they put her out a little bit earlier than she was scheduled for, so she was just stuck in this one pose for about 5 minutes waiting for her beat to drop.
This was the pose.
And that's the pose for 5 minutes.
So everyone backstage thought that she froze, and they're like, she's not walking. She's not
scared,
walking.
yeah.
She's scared. She's not going to go.
Yeah, I definitely heard whispers like.
And I'm like, no, she knows what
Like she's waiting for the beat to drop. Okay.
Okay.
And when that beat dropped, my girl walked. Okay, guys, so that's a wrap for our first episode. Thank you so much for joining us for behind the scenes and the chaos and the madness that is Zeus and Lexi Kids Off the Runway. Our next episode, we're going to be talking a little bit about New York Fashion Week, what it's like to actually walk down that aisle and get the kids' perspective.
So thank you for joining us today, and we hope you come back for episode 2.
Yes, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, ladies, for coming. Thank you so much. And we'll see you guys next time.